Pat. 8 teams set out on the road to All-Ireland success on Monday, February 20th. Now we're down to the final two, and let's take a check on tonight's starting 11s. Well, just 11 days after a knee operation, Michael Devine returns for Cork City at the expense of the very unlucky Mark McNulty. George O'Callaghan starts despite picking up a heavy ankle knock against Bray Wanderers, but top scorer John O'Flynn, who missed the semi-final with a hamstring problem, again misses out.
Yes, Damien Richardson goes for the 4-4-2, which very quickly can become a 4-3-3 with O'Donovan on the right-hand side, walking the chalk, supplying the ammunition for Finn and Bain.
Well, Paul Doolan also welcomes back a first-choice goalkeeper. Dan Connor, returning after a suspension, ruled him out of their win at Windsor Park. The only other change to the 11 from that night sees Declan O'Brien return from injury to replace injury victim Shane Barrett.
As Paul Doolan goes for a 4-4-2 with Jason Gavin, the governor, at the back, a very solid back four. James Keating, very, very exciting against Linfield, and Fitzpatrick up front, also a very good forward player.
Welcome back to Tolka Park. It's a little overcast here in this part of Dublin tonight, but we're expecting illumination on the pitch. Drogheda United will get the game underway. Declan O'Brien, the captain, returning from injury, along with Glenn Fitzpatrick, man of the match in their semi-final win against Linfield in Belfast. So many big names on both sides. George O'Callaghan lining up. He was a real injury doubt. John O'Flynn, as we've already mentioned, doesn't make it. It's a night for heroes. No one will want to be the villain. Dave McKeown is just about to get things underway. Damien Richardson. Is there a Setanta Sports Cup to add to his league title? Or will Drogheda add it to their FAI Cup title? First challenges, the two captains together. Murray a little over-eager. Drogheda win themselves an early free kick. O'Brien going again. Challenges from Joe Gamble, who's sporting a new hairstyle tonight. And Gamble gets a touch. Pursued by Shane Robinson. Bean's layoff. Keegan gets a flick on. Now Gamble again. James Keddy, scorer of Drogheda's semi-final winner. And Dan Connor assured in his first clearance. O'Brien puts it on the chest, peels away, has Fitzpatrick ahead of him. George O'Callaghan makes the challenge. And now Roy O'Donovan is off and running. Dan Connor advances from his goal line.
Well, it's fantastic goalkeeping. We have spoken about the high quality of goalkeeping in the competition. Connor came out there very bright.
Roy O'Donovan back after a 3-game ban in the competition. His pace will be a real outlet for Cork City tonight. O'Callaghan, pressurised by O'Brien. Bennett. Murray on for Murphy. His duel with Shane Robinson. Two tenacious players, and both going in for the challenge there. It's gone against Danny Murphy.
Well, Murphy's an important player. We know he can get forward, but he has a tackle. Try to get in there, and it's very early on for Drogheda. They are passing the ball about very well. They've settled into a lovely shape.
Gartland for Simon Webb. Teases one down the line. Devine advances. Murray looking to switch it for Roy O'Donovan. Header inside for Fenn. Now Dennis Bean, joint top scorer in the tournament. Gamble, space at a premium here. O'Callaghan winding one up. They just dragged across it. It's a lively start.
Yeah, it's a good start. And I've got to say, from Cork, they've got a good shape. They have played almost the three in the middle. This is one of them, O'Callaghan. He does put a shot, and there might have been a better option for him. Horgan on the right-hand side and just give them that little bit of a run down the outside.
O'Connor seeking out Glenn Fitzpatrick, beaten by Dan Murray.
What is interesting for Cork, we've spoken about their midfield three, really. But Gamble we expected to play with O'Callaghan in the middle, but that's not the case. O'Brien's in there and Gamble's playing more on the left-hand side.
That's Robinson and Murphy again, and Robinson the winner this time. Fitzpatrick, lovely step over. Chance to get his cross in. It's a teasing one as well, and Keegan was arriving. And Alan Bennett getting there just ahead of James Kelly. Fitzpatrick taken on by Fenn. Surely he's been fouled there by Stephen Bradley.
Well, and the stuff at the moment, Fenn, we know, very strong when the ball's played up to him on that occasion. It's Glenn Fitzpatrick does a wonderful turn, lovely spin, gets across in, real invitation, puts it in Cork defence under all kinds of pressure.
Paul Keegan arriving late, as is his wont, has been amongst the goals in the centre of the park. Keddy going on the outside of Neil Horgan. Gamble's there to help out. Gets enough on the cross to take the sting out of it. Alan Bennett, clearance charged down by Declan O'Brien.
Yes, for me, Keddy against Linfield was really outstanding. A confidence player, and every time he got the ball, he felt he could do something with it.
And what a cracking goal he scored, James Keddy, to knock out the defending champions Linfield. Fenn against Gartland. Gartland the winner. Stephen Bradley. He doesn't have too many happy memories of his chance with Cork. A couple of sendings off already this season for Bradley. Gartland. And there's Dennis Bean, joint top scorer. It's been a great tournament for him, hasn't it, Brian?
Well, I think he's a big, strong player. And a lot of managers like a player like that in the team who you can knock the ball up to, and he just holds it up, brings players into the game.
Here's Bradley. Sweet a passer of the ball as there is in the country. Shelley for Robinson, now Fitzpatrick. Bradley just chips one towards Declan O'Brien. And Bennett had to be careful with that challenge.
Well, we know this pitch is a fantastic playing surface, but an hour ago, less than that, we had a little bit of rain, and the ball is really zipping over it, and it's a fantastic pitch for players who want to get the ball down to pass and play.
Bennett stretches out a leg to take it away from Declan O'Brien. Robinson. Shelley was just eased off it by Neil Fenn. Fenn, who's earned some praise from his manager Damien Richardson recently. Very impressive in the semi-final against Shelburne as well.
Well, he's such an important player because what he does, he brings a bit of sense to play, and he is such a great first touch.
Bradley, Cork players swarming around him, but Bradley wins it back. Webb, Fitzpatrick can take it down unchallenged. And Murray getting to him now. Robinson, O'Brien, Fitzpatrick, they've worked this well, Drogheda. Is there an end product to it? Kenny was free behind Keegan. He's just asking his midfielder, why didn't you let it run?
Well, Fitzpatrick's given Dan Murray a little bit of a problem. Here we see him on the ball. He floats the ball in. There was one or two options on. Yes, it was a difficult one. He was unaware of the player behind him. But as I say, Fitzpatrick's dropping off the big centre half into a position where if he gets the ball, he can turn and run at him. Dan Murray's problem is to come, close him down, or to hold the ground.
There's Michael Devine, as we said. Well, I was speaking to him, he said he feared his season was over when he suffered that injury against Longford, but the news was better than expected, even though that slip mightn't help him. He's back in goal tonight. It's Damien Richardson ups for experience. Simon Webb, League and Cup winner with Bohemians, and of course Cup winner now with Drogheda United. Forward by Keegan, run all the way through to Devine. Sent in the direction of Dennis Bean. Donovan will challenge against Garland. Donovan has been charged with jumping into the challenge there.
Well, he is an important player, and he needs to stay on the pitch. I know he's had a little problem with suspension, but for Cork City, he's so important. He walks the chalk, gives him width, and Damien Richardson really needs him in the side.
Jason Gavin sweeping it to the left-hand side. The angle Glenn Fitzpatrick was looking for. It'll be a Cork City throw-in. Feet of Gamble. Pulls off Bradley, but Fitzpatrick there for support. But in 13 competitive games this season, Cork City are unbeaten. In 13 competitive games for Drogheda, they've conceded 5 goals. 4 of them have been against Cork in the Setanta Cup. There goes O'Donovan. Chance to run at Webb. Cuts inside. Bean. Layoff for O'Donovan again. Lines one up, and Dan Connor, he was looking interested in it.
Well, he actually does brilliant in this occasion. I like the winger who can go down the line, but also when he comes inside, he gives him a different problem. A lovely little 1-2. And what he does, he hits the strike here so early. The keeper doesn't get set, and it just waltzed outside the post.
Bradley. Now Webb. Keddy. O'Brien. Held it up well. It's out Bradley. Bradley for Fitzpatrick. Colin O'Brien read his intentions. Roy O'Donovan. Fenn. Gavin's header away. Now Callahan. Bean's layoff, and the chase is on here. Gamble gets there ahead of Robinson, and Cork up 2-on-1 on the left-hand side. Here's Gamble. Murphy for Behan. No offside flag, but too much on that. Shelley and Bean getting to know each other. Well, just a word from the referee, Dave McKeown, to calm things down.
Yes, none of the players really have a chance of keeping the ball in play. Shelley does well. He just nurses it over the line, makes sure the big Cork man doesn't get on it.
Shelley new to the club, and several links within this Drogheda side from past playing days. Shelley played alongside Jason Gavin and Sherry Orchard in his youth. Stephen Bradley and Graham Garkin played together as schoolboys. Shelley, of course, who had a stint in England with Carlisle. Back now, he's been a good capture. Donovan putting some pressure on Dan Connor, and as a result Cork City will get themselves a throw-in.
But that's the way Cork City play. All of a sudden they've gone 4-3-3. O'Donovan's pushed up, the pressure on the goalkeeper, and the press in the back four. So Paul Doolan, he'll just have to look at that and maybe just rearrange his side a little.
And most judges saying the first goal in this game is crucial. It's a footballing cliche, but 2 very mean defences certainly apt here this evening, you feel. Donovan beaten by Gartland. Keegan taken off his toe by Colin O'Brien. Here's George O'Callaghan. And it's beaten into the touchline. He's going to be closely watched by Drogheda tonight.
Well, the linesman, the assistant, got it absolutely right. And I'm pleased to see George playing tonight. He's a big game player. And as Damien Richardson said, he likes to have him in the side.
George O'Callaghan, a player who provokes emotion. It's a love him or hate him scenario, really, isn't it? Adored by the Cork faithful. Bennett going to the far side where O'Donovan has popped up. Robinson getting back there to help out Brian Shelley.
Yes, Roy O'Donovan's given that license, isn't he, to play on the right, play on the left, because when he plays on the right, you expect Danny Murphy to get down that left-hand side. So it just gives a little complication, and Drogheda just have to deal with O'Donovan wherever he plays.
Well, the 2 managers looking on. Nothing they can do now.
Well, I think 12 minutes played, and as I say, the start of the game's always crucial. I think both teams have settled down, they've passed the ball well, they're sparring with one another. No real goal-scoring chances, but so far, quite a good game.
Keegan, now some space for Keddy on the left-hand side. Kenny fashion away past Neil Horgan. Comes onto his right foot, clips one into the box. Gamble won the header and it almost fell for Paul Keegan. Gartland finds only Gamble. He goes back to the safety of his goalkeeper. Gavin was clever there, a little nudge before the ball came anywhere near him or Roy O'Donovan, just gave him the advantage. And Shelley plays it to the right hand side, but just too much on that for Shane Robinson.
This is where Getty's so clever and he's so confident at the moment. It's a clever pass in. Many people would have gone for the shot. He didn't.
Robinson for Bradley. Great challenge by Joe Gamble on Bradley.
Yeah, Gamble's just, as Joe Royal once talked about his midfield, one of the dogs of war. He loves a challenge. He likes attacking. Very competitive on that occasion. Two over Keane.
Taken short for Bradley. No ill effects of that knock from Dennis Bean. Joe Gamble rather. Here's O'Donovan for Fenn. Danny Murphy. Colin O'Brien, little one for Gamble. O'Brien once more. Fenn just slides off his foot. Shelley looks to switch it. Only straight to Neil Horgan though. Sides playing football, keeping it on the deck.
What Cork do to you, they give you problems, they make you think about the game. At the moment, Fenn's dropping off, and it's almost O'Donovan and Bean playing as two forward players. Fenn just topping up the left, topping up the right. Who picks him up? That's the question.
Fenn. He looked to hold off Shelley, but Shelley having none of that. Keegan, O'Brien, quickly to him, now George O'Callaghan. Horgan, O'Donovan comes all the way across. That's for him. And again, just not finding his man.
Yeah, that's the problem with the three. They play very narrow, so it really is hard work for the front three to make sure they cover the ground and give the player on the ball width.
Colin O'Brien, Murphy, Gamble, it's a good pass, invited him to get turned. Still he goes, great challenge, Jason Gavin. When Bradley was caught late, was he, by O'Callaghan? No, referee right on top of it, waves play on. And now he has whistled up for Fitzpatrick's challenge. Alan Bennett on the deck.
Well, the referee was very well placed. We see George coming in. Yeah, I don't think he makes too much of contact. The referee very quick, get up, get on with the game. Good refereeing.
O'Callaghan was a major doubt prior to this game, and we'll wait and see how he gets on as the minutes tick by. Murphy's free kick is towards Bean, who wins the header, and a great chance for Roy O'Donovan, and two superb saves from Dan Connor.
Well, fantastic play, lovely service in. The big man Bean gets up, knocks it across. I've got to say, should have been a goal, two chances. Yes, a good save by Connor, but what a miss. Early stages, 6 yards out. You've got to simply put them away.
Well, you just felt Roy O'Donovan was about to announce his arrival back in this competition with the opening goal. Dan Connor to the rescue. And this time George O'Callaghan has been blown up for a late challenge on Bradley. And it's going to be a yellow card. He'll be walking on eggshells from now on.
Well, it was definitely late, there's no doubt about that. I think it's a bit harsh, the yellow card, because there really hasn't been too many incidents in the game so far, and that does put the big midfield player under a little bit of pressure. Going back to the chance again with Connor. This is it, well, that's the incident. You can see him turning in, turning the shoulder, definitely a free kick. As I say, I'm not sure with the other.
And we get the impression there's a bit of sorting out being done from both respective sets of midfielders. Jason Gavin, who almost 5 years ago to the day was playing against Manchester United in the Premiership for Middlesbrough. Never away by Bennett. Bean beaten to it by Gartland. And Murray just nudged pinches Fitzpatrick off it. Paul Doolan will want his centre forward to be a little stronger in those scenarios. Fenn kills it with ease, and he's away from Gavin, and he's also away from Keegan, and now Keegan's in trouble. Keegan's in trouble. Two bookings in quick succession.
Well, as Fenn is given the problems because he is just playing in behind the front two, and nobody's really coming out to pick him up, and he is a clever player.
Fenn enticed Jason Gavin into the challenge. Gavin took the bait. Here's the free kick. Header away by Keddy. Good header from Colin O'Brien to pick out Horgan. That's going to run for a corner off Paul Keegan.
That's good play from Cork with the set pieces. Lovely movement. Donovan being both involved. They're playing the ball in. There's a lot of movement around them. Well, it's knocked down. Yeah, that was the flick. That was the trip. The referee got it right.
Well, the corner is going to be taken by Neil Fenn. It's to drop it right into that 6-yard box. Dan Connor came for it. He's under most pressure from his own man, James Keddy. He'll have to come again for this. Again, takes out his own man, Brian Shelley, who remains on the deck, but good goalkeeping.
Well, it's good service in, and it's nice and early. It's an invitation for a forward player to come and get it. Keeper very, very positive. Yes, good goalkeeping. Punches the ball away. Unfortunately, he's got his own defenders with him. Because what he does is gets in front of the defender. If he doesn't make that movement, it's an easy catch for the keeper.
Well, extra time and penalties if needed this evening. Dan Connor might fancy one of those. He scored one for Waterford in a cup semi-final a few years ago.
Well, you're speaking about that, and I hope we're not speaking about the miss by O'Donovan, because I thought he was very relaxed, very casual, and sometimes, yes, be relaxed. You've got to be very
Shelley is off and will have to await the call to come back on from Dave McKeown. Drogheda down to 10 as Neil Horgan gets his cross and a flick on Bean. George O'Callaghan off the post. Well, how close have they come? 3 great chances now.
Well, it's a big miss. It's wonderful play. Lovely flick on it. It's gone through. It's fallen to George O'Callaghan. He just placed it beautifully. Harder skills, hitting it against the post. He simply should have scored. He did everything right, except put it in the back of the net.
Well, Dan Connor to the rescue on the double a few moments ago, and now his left-hand post denies Cork City the opening goal. Another Fenn corner. Bennett lines unchallenged, and Connor plucks it out of the air right in front of some adoring Drogheda fans behind him.
Yeah, but Paul Doolan will be most distraught about this. He's jumping 6 yards out, 8 yards out, absolutely free. Simple header, should have knocked it down, wasn't scored from there. But Drogheda, they got to pick up set pieces.
Well, the league champions having the better of it as the FAI Cup holders. Cork City were really disappointed to go out of this competition last season in the manner that they did, anxious to make up for it this time round. Keddy. Keegan just helping it on towards Declan O'Brien. Percentage header into space, but no one there. We're approaching the midway point of this first half. Plenty of incidents so far.
Well, halfway stage, and you've got to say it is really a very exciting first half.
Damien Richardson has put the coat on, feeling the chill on the far side. He'll be happy with what he's seen so far. Bean. Back for Horgan. Colin O'Brien, Cork City's longest serving player. Keegan just lost his footing at the crucial moment. Webb's header. Helped on by Keddy. Gamble. Now Bennett against O'Brien. Bennett tenacious. And O'Brien is on the ground. Head injury here, so the referee rightly stopped play.
Yes, I don't think there was anything malicious at all in that. Just the arm flying about, which takes place when two players jump. They try to use their arms, their legs for momentum and balance. And sometimes the player just gets a knock, and that's what's happened on this occasion. But speaking about Cork, I do think they started off, well, not as quickly as Drogheda. Drogheda, I thought, settled into a nice form, nice shape, lovely 4-4-2 pattern. Wide in the left, they get that width from Keddy. But I think Cork have changed 2 or 3 times, and that's just given Drogheda just a little problem. How does he pick up the middle of the park? Fenn is the key. He's dropping off, picking up the ball.
Well, Paul Doolan issuing the instructions was this week rewarded with a 3-year contract extension, due reward for the tremendous work he's put in since moving to the club. Well, Declan O'Brien will be fit to continue. Has had his injury problems, of course, in recent weeks. Ruled out of the semi-final with a calf problem. Signed by Harry McHugh. And what an addition he's proven. Club captain now as well. Devine. Away by Gavin. And O'Brien just back on the field. Feels a clattering challenge from Dan Murray. Murphy forward and an offside flag against Roy O'Donovan. Dan Connor will take this free kick. Fitzpatrick is the obvious target. And once again, Murray proves stronger. Ian's layoff. And Callahan putting pressure on Bradley here. Shelley nips in, spots the danger. And Keddy just took his eye off it. Bean, lovely reverse pass, Fenn. And he got away from Gartland, but well, even if they were looking for a free kick, Bradley was on it for Drogheda. And Fenn and Gartland, just a little bit of a coming together off the ball there. Fenn had a little nibble at the Drogheda centre half. Here is Murray. It was a difficult ball for Fenn, and Shelley comes away with a good pace from the fullback, but couldn't find the pass. Now he's out of position. Fenn. Murphy, bundled over by Glenn Fitzpatrick.
It's a centre-forward tackle. And Murphy's a clever player, you know, he's not very big, but he uses his frame so well.
Fitzpatrick has been battling with the giant frame of Dan Murray, perhaps happy to get a challenge in on one of the little men. O'Callaghan. Keegan was making the challenge. And George O'Callaghan, a quizzical look to the referee. And Dave McKeown might have to have eyes in the back of his head tonight. O'Donovan won the header, but he was the furthest advance for Cork City. And it's with Dan Connor, the man who denied him. O'Brien, well killed. Keddy. Webb. Bennett made the header, helped on by Colin O'Brien. Now Bean, very strong. And picks out Fenn. O'Donovan is peeling away. And that's for he. Good first touch. And he looks to get his shot in. Well, again, it's that role that O'Donovan is picking up that's causing problems for Drogheda.
Well, it was almost brilliant from him. He watched the ball coming in. It's a floated pass in. He's watched it the whole way. His first touch, magnificent. Outside of the foot, hits it early, just got underneath it. But this is a fantastic ball, and this touch makes it all happen. Terrific play.
Well, Fenn, as soon as he gets the ball, head up all the time, looking for the pass. Damien Richardson, as we said, happy with the opening 28 minutes, but disappointed they're not ahead. Murray. O'Donovan challenging with Gartland. Alan Bennett. Dennis Bean again, a lovely little touch inside. And a misunderstanding then between Horgan and O'Brien. It's with Paul Keegan. That's for Shelley. And he'll scamper to keep it in. Up the line for Fitzpatrick. Lovely control. It's for Robinson, who are just straight offside. Well, Cork City, special train laid on from Cork for this game. Travelled in their thousands. As indeed have Drogheda. Tremendous support for Paul Doolan's side as well. Tickets were snapped up very, very quickly this week. And it's great to see Drogheda as an emerging side and a real rivalry now building up between these two sides. Gavin in strongly. Back flick on by O'Donovan, and Fenn looking to get in behind. Gartland picked up a good position. Fitzpatrick, a little push in the back. Half an hour played then. Still Cork City 0, Drogheda United 0. There have been chances, and Cork have certainly had the better of them. It's come off the head of Graham Gartland. Cork City throwing deep in the Drogheda United half of the pitch. Morgan for O'Callaghan. Declan O'Brien back there to help out his defence. It's come to Colin O'Brien. Sends one towards O'Donovan at the back post. Well, he leapt acrobatically to keep it in. He succeeded though in giving it back to Brian Shelley.
Well, there's no doubt Cork having a very good time at the moment. They've settled into their game. They're passing the ball much better. And the rotation of the front three is going to be a major problem.
Again, Fitzpatrick coming back from an offside position. And as soon as he got involved in play, the flag went up. Fitzpatrick has obviously been saying a little bit too much for the referee's liking. And sensibly, Dave McKeown just has a word, points that out. Any more, and he could be joining George O'Callaghan and Jason Gavin in the book. Fenn on the left-hand side. Murray. Keegan, now Fenn, and Neil Horgan is in acres of space on this right-hand side, but Drogheda United have it back, and Robinson was free on the right. Stephen Bradley opted to take it on himself. Michael Devine has spilled it. Danny Murphy did well. Now it's with the other full-back, Horgan, onto O'Callaghan. Wants someone to come short for it, cuts inside. Keegan again with the intercepting header. Bean. Bradley nipping in to win it back, and then a foul by Bean on Declan O'Brien.
Yes, this was the result of some good play from Drogheda, and it's the first time they've really put a few passes together. On that occasion, Michael Devine came out, slid along the ground, and as you say, Danny Murphy, as all good defenders should do, making sure the keeper has the ball. If not, he deals with it.
And Stephen Bradley had given it up, but you can't criticise him for that, really. Looked like Devine's ball through and through. away by Murray. Nudge in the back from Roy O'Donovan on Jason Gavin. Well, Michael Devine, another one, of course, who was rushed back for this game. We wonder, is he 100%? Mark McNulty, of course, on the bench if required. Here you can see a plaster on the knee that was operated on, as we said, a mere 11 days ago. Gamble now, here goes O'Donovan. Gavin kept his eye on that when he had to. O'Donovan had open space in front of him. Shelley forward. Dan Murray always favourite there. Here's Gamble. Neil Horgan. Alan Bennett. Drogheda working hard to close down the options available to the Cork player in possession.
But there's a sweetness about Cork's passing when they do this. They bring every player into play. So many options. This man on the ball, instrumental in so much has gone through the middle of the park.
Fenn. O'Callaghan. 3 men attracted to him. Fenn just looked to dink it over the top. That's come off Gavin. Gartland will have to deal with it. Shelley prevents a corner, but it will come for Neil Fenn for Cork. Picks out a good ball for Gamble. Men free to his right, one of whom is Neil Horgan. Gamble once more. Cork happy to hold the ball, get their passes in, until eventually Simon Webb makes the challenge on Bean and Drogheda have it back. Bean holds off Keddy. To get his cross in. Meat and drink for Gartland.
But this is where Drogheda needs to keep the ball. Cork have been doing ever so well, putting a lot of pressure on. Drogheda and Paul Doolan's men, they need to get the ball, get on the ball and pass it about, bring themselves back into the game.
These are a difficult few moments for Drogheda, finding it very difficult to gain any worthwhile possession. Gavin has put that one out of the ground.
Well, Fenn very clever, and as you've quite rightly mentioned, he's given Drogheda all kinds of problems. He's floating up in behind the front two, wide left, wide right. Somebody needs to pick him up.
Here is the aforementioned Fenn. And this time lost possession to Keegan and then fouled the Drogheda United midfielder. About 9 minutes of normal time remaining to half-time. And still we await the breakthrough.
I think this is where Cork are doing very well. They're picking up every second ball, and that's a big plus. It gets you playing, gets you on the ball, and then you can put better service up to your front players by playing through the middle of the park.
And already Cork have been far more effective than they were in that FAI Cup final. No coincidence perhaps that Roy O'Donovan was suspended for that one. He's back in action here, and here he is on the ball. Well, Cork fans baying for a free kick on the edge of the box. Referee not impressed. Fenn to the right-hand side for O'Callaghan. Wins the challenge against Keegan, but it breaks for Fitzpatrick. Bennett in determinedly. Keegan, now that's a good ball for Declan O'Brien. Bennett gets back there, holds him up. Swings it wide to the right-hand side where Robinson is arriving late. Gamble read the danger. Strong gets his clearance in. Bean again holding it up well and picking out a good ball to the left-hand side where Fenn is unmarked. O'Donovan and Bean making up the yards towards the box. It's towards O'Donovan, who wins the header. Well, it wasn't a bad header. The only problem was none of the midfielders had made up the ground to get there.
Well, it's fabulous play from Cork. They're really stretching Drogheda from left to right. They're passing, they're keeping the ball. Then when they play it forward, they're trying to support it.
Here's Neil Horgan, the fullback. Now, is he blocked off it by Simon Webb? No. But it's been given now.
Yeah, the referee eventually got the right decision. You can see the defender coming across him, not allowing Horgan to get on the ball. The assistant, he was the one who gave the decision. That's good team play from the officials.
Now Cork free kick in a decent position. Surprisingly, Danny Murphy with that left foot of his hasn't come across to have a look at this. It's going to be a left for Neil Fenn. 6 men in and around the box for Cork. Colin O'Brien just outside. 3-man wall for Dan Connor. 7 minutes to the break as Fenn floats one round towards the back post where O'Donovan had peeled away. Dan Connor plucked it out of the air spectacularly.
Well, it's a training ground free kick. It's a super free kick. You can see him peeling off the far post. The keeper came, read the situation very well. One-handed, but did the job.
Now it's with Brian Shelley. Up in the air from Gamble. And O'Callaghan. His fullback, Danny Murphy. O'Donovan again looking to set off here. Jason Gavin gave himself a bit of a head start. And O'Donovan barrels into him right over by the corner flag.
Well, he gave it up. He shouldn't have done that. It was an interesting pass. It was floated over the big centre-back Gavin. It wasn't really going to run out of play if he had to get on his bike. Got there, made the defender make a decision. And you can see the coach, the manager, Damien Richardson, trying to say to him, float it down the line. It's an interesting... And I think what they're doing with O'Donovan is they're using his pace to try and get in behind the back four. And certainly in behind Gavin and Gartland.
Well, as we were saying earlier, as Paul Keegan in the centre circle is doing everything to get his side going here, asking for a little bit more, so too are the Drogheda support. There was a school of thought that thought these two sides might cancel each other out. They knew each other so well, but it's been an open game. Both have come to play, both have come to win. Supporters coming in all shapes, sizes and manners. Well, a big 5 minutes this now to take us to the break. If either side could seize the initiative now. Paul Doolan looking on. You see a little anxious. Tony Cousins there behind him. As we've seen, Drogheda in this competition are so difficult to break down. In the league, they've yet to concede. Cork City, the only side who've really had their number in that respect in the Setanta Cup. Have managed those 4 goals against them.
Well, the Cork front three, O'Donovan, Fenn and Bain, not only have they done well on the ball, but they've worked extremely hard to make life very difficult for Paul Doolan's back four. When they do get it, they can't get the ball down to pass and play through the middle of the park.
Flick on from Fitzpatrick. O'Brien couldn't take it in. That's been a rare foray forward for Drogheda in the last 15 minutes or so. Murphy advised to go all the way back to his goalkeeper, Michael Devine. Clears with no obvious effects of that recent injury. Well, that will be the only concern for Damien Richardson, won't it, Brian, that they haven't got that goal?
I think as we approach the half-time whistle, I think it's been an extremely good first half, and certainly I thought Paul Doolan's side really started very well. Good shape about them. They passed the ball very well, but Cork have worked their way into the game, and the front three are really giving the Drogheda defence a problem. Not really picking up Fenn. O'Donovan, when he goes left or when he goes right, they've got to pin him in the middle of the park. They've got to get tighter, stop Cork passing through that area.
Well, no doubt that Drogheda have talent in that midfield of theirs, but they just haven't been able to show it really in this first half. Bradley and Keegan have been working defensively more than offensively. As Webb swings it in, header away by Bean.
Part of the problem for Paul Doolan is that Cork have dictated the tempo of the game. And I think when that happens, you've got to break that up in some shape or some form. Maybe pin 1 or 2 players, get closer to them, make it in such a way that you pick up second balls and then get your passing going.
A discussion between Tony Cousins and Paul Doolan as to perhaps where things are going wrong, where they can do things a little bit better. Michael Devine, so key to the side that they give him every chance to be fit for this game. Gavin towering in the air against Bean. And Fitzpatrick, little shove in the back on Danny Murphy again. Cork take the free kick quickly and short. Fenn has ended up on the deck after Gavin's challenge. It's Keegan to take it forward for Drogheda. Robinson, space for Keddy on the left-hand side. Can O'Brien get turned? Well, Bennett proves stronger. O'Callaghan taking it away. And a word exchange then by Paul Keegan in George O'Callaghan's direction. Those two have had a real tussle as Fenn remains on the ground, and this is a worry. John O'Flynn on the bench, of course. This is a worry. Steve Staunton looks on. Pat Devlin there as well. He'll be keeping an eye on some of these players, of course, for the B internationals. Here's the challenge again.
Yeah, it was something and nothing. I do think it was just the way he twisted, and it would be a loss. Richardson wouldn't want to lose any of his team at the moment. There's a nice shape about them. They're playing with confidence, and he will reflect on the 2, maybe 3 chances missed. Donovan definitely had 2 all in one go and should have put it away. And George O'Callaghan, after some wonderful play, nice early service in, did everything right except put it in the back of the net.
And Damien Richardson still complaining bitterly about that challenge on Neil Fenn. Bennett. Dan Murray. Oh, he'd love to get his hands as Cork City captain on another trophy. Gamble on his first touch. I'm not quite sure if he meant that, but he took it away from Keddy and spreads it to the right-hand side where O'Donovan can get his crossing. Ups instead to go at Webb. Back for O'Callaghan. Faced as always by Paul Keegan. O'Callaghan stands one up. Easy for Dan Connor in the end. So your summation of this first half, Brian?
Well, it's been a good game. I've enjoyed it very much. It's ebbed and flowed, and I think that Cork have had the major share of the ball. They've had the major share of the chances, and they'll be disappointed that they're not going to end 1, maybe 2 goals up.
And as we mentioned, Drogheda very, very difficult to score against. Is there a dramatic late ending to the half here as we enter the 2nd additional minute? Bennett looked to play an ambitious ball wide to Murphy. Robinson was onto it. Touch a little heavy. Fenn is back on the pitch. Neil Horgan for O'Callaghan, who's coming into it more and more as it goes on. Fitzpatrick there looking to make the challenge. And there's going to be a word now, and I think it's for everything that went on a little earlier as much as the challenge itself here.
Well, I'm not sure there's an awful lot in it. George O'Callaghan's always going to get challenged in there. He was just slightly off balance. He did everything right. He just fell over. He wasn't going to stay on his feet. Yeah, I'm not sure about the yellow card, and I think that was basically for a series of events.
Yes, Dave McKeown pointing out to various parts of the pitch where he deemed Fitzpatrick had erred. Now, this could be the last action of the first half.
Well, we always talk about this part of the game where concentration is key, and at the moment, Paul Doolan said they need to concentrate. They can't concede at this stage.
Sent in by Fenn. It's an enticing one. Shelley opted to head away. O'Donovan has Fenn just inside. That's for him. Holds off the challenge of O'Brien, but O'Brien wins it back for Drogheda. Well, there indeed is the half-time whistle. Plenty of endeavour and chances, but as of yet, we're still awaiting the opening goal. 45 minutes gone. Cork City 0, Drogheda United 0. Cork have had the better of it. Thanks indeed, Pat. Welcome back. Well, those are the views of Steve Staunton. George O'Callaghan Dave Hill, the assistant manager for Cork, was having a good word with him during the break, and you know, there is a little bit of concern obviously about that ankle.
Well, he doesn't look entirely comfortable with it, and we know he had a problem leading into it, so Damien Richardson certainly wouldn't want to lose him.
Well, we can expect fireworks in the second half, because generally that's when the goals have come between these two sides. Both Drogheda goals in the cup final came in the second half. And Cork City took control of their home Setanta Sports Cup group game against Drogheda in the second period as well. So will it be Cork City? Will it be Drogheda United to follow in the footsteps of Linfield and claim the title of All-Ireland champions? Remember, extra time and penalties if needed. Second half underway. Neil Horgan immediately forward towards Dennis Behan. Alan Bennett. Oh, it's a risky one. Never looked, and O'Brien was onto it quickly. Keegan. Some space now for Brian Shelley. That's Shane Robinson hugging the touchline. Just ahead Fitzpatrick. Well, he really gave his striker no chance with that ball. In terms of this second half then, Brian, I mean, we're wondering, we heard the guys in studio saying how they think Drogheda should operate. What do you think?
Well, I think all the questions were with the Drogheda manager, Paul Doolan, because what he had to do was, I feel, he had to tighten his middle of the park. He's playing almost with two wingers, and there's three for Cork in there, so they have to tighten him right up and try and win possession of the ball so they can get their game plan going.
Gavin winning over Behan. Fitzpatrick strong against Murphy. And Murphy recovered well to make the challenge on Robinson. Drogheda United throw in. Shelley is surveying his options. He doesn't have too many. He has to go for Fitzpatrick, who's under real pressure from Colin O'Brien, and Fitzpatrick, who of course is on a yellow card, hauls O'Brien to the ground.
Yeah, the momentum seems to be with the men from Cork. There's a confidence about them, there's an arrogance about them when they get on the ball. There's plenty of options, and Drogheda really have just got to work their way back into this game.
Gavin backpedaling, made an important header away by Webb, but only to the feet of George O'Callaghan. Nifty feet from Dave McKeown as well, the referee, to get out of the way there. And thoughts will turn, of course, the longer it goes goalless, Brian, of those who are missing, in particular John O'Flynn for Cork, and Shane Barrett, who would have been an interesting option, a different option for Paul Doolan had he been fit.
Yeah, of course, it's always dreadfully, you know, you're sorry for any player who misses a final. You maybe don't get too many opportunities, and this is a massive, massive cup final now.
Fenn. Good strength to hold off Garland, and Garland, as we saw in the first half, those two just needing a few calling cards.
Well, I'm just looking to see if the back four change in any shape or form, and well, the keeper's under a little bit of pressure, has got the ball away.
And he's definitely not moving freely, Michael Devine. Away by Horgan. Ian kills it with the studs, but it's broken free. Simon Webb. Flick on from O'Brien, but Murray's there ahead of Fitzpatrick. Ian working hard for Cork. And neither side pulling out of any challenge. There's plenty being made out there. Robinson, right in front of the Cork City support. Murphy for Murray. Bennett, quickly closed down by Bradley. Little backheel for Fitzpatrick. Shooting chance, goes for the chip. And Devine happy to see it over. That's better from Drogheda. Alan Bennett just caught in possession.
Well, that's the second time in this half he's been caught out. Clever play. When it did come to Fitzpatrick, clever chip. Keeper did so well to work back and just simply tip it over the crossbar.
And the corner will be taken on the far side by Shane Robinson. And a first chance really for Jason Gavin and Graham Gartland to get into the Cork City box here. They're being closely watched by their opposing centre halves, Murray and Bennett. Now what can Robinson provide here? Whips one towards the near post. Colin O'Brien heads it away. Well wasted perhaps when the two centre halves were up.
But that will give Drogheda a little bit of encouragement. Yes, it was inflicted by Bennett himself, but at the same time, they'll take something from it.
Devine coming for that. He certainly doesn't seem to be moving at 100%. Not surprising, really, considering how recent the injury was. Cork will be anxious to protect him as best they can. They certainly protected him in the first half and kept Fitzpatrick and O'Brien under control.
Well, after the early phase of the game, I thought that Fitzpatrick was giving big Dan Murray a problem. But as the game grew, Dan Murray also grew and certainly bullied Glenn Fitzpatrick out of the first half.
Yeah, it's a good start to the second half from Drogheda. Seeing plenty more of the ball. Robinson and Shelley together will look to raid down this right wing. It's left for the fullback who cuts inside. Dabs a nice ball for Fitzpatrick. And ball given against the centre forward.
I think that's typical of the game so far. You just feel as if Drogheda are almost playing at the stretch. So there seems to be a comfort zone about Cork when they get the ball down to pass and play. And we know that Keegan and Bradley are very influential midfield players. They need to get on the ball.
Well, this was earlier. Michael Devine, he caught in two minds, really, hoping the ball might run out and it wasn't going to run into his box and he could handle it. Forced into play it, and that won't have helped that knee injury. Gamble breaks for O'Brien. Good layoff for Keddy, going on the outside of Neil Horgan. The referee not happy. Deemed that Keddy was playing for that. Horgan was certainly committed to the challenge.
Well, I think it was more the Drogheda man almost running into the Cork full-back, but the referee, I think, did quite well.
Well, as the temperature hots up at Tolka Park, discipline will be a key factor as well. It's a fixture in the last year that's been known for red cards. Robinson was nipping in. Difficult chance. Just looked to guide it with the outside of the right boot.
But this is a better passage of play from Drogheda. They're getting the ball down, they're passing, they're playing. And this is where Bennett, and this is what you say to central defenders, don't give the ball away carelessly because you give them a lift. This is early service in, and you're right, Robinson does so well, just nicks in front of Murphy.
Gartland climbing over B, and Gamble is onto that quickly. Good challenge, Robinson, who is backtracking all the way. Shelley goes for Fitzpatrick. Bennett in strongly. Murphy to the feet of Bean. Kept in play, and Murphy getting forward again. Faced by three claret and blue. Murphy's holding off Shelley. They're having a right tussle down there. And now the referee gives it the way of the Cork City fullback.
Murphy does brilliant there, you know. He really runs at the fullback. He knows fullbacks don't like that. When he doesn't see the option, he's big, he's strong, he puts his body in the way. Shelley just a little bit silly, a little bit clumsy.
Well, it's going to be Neil Fenn once again to take this. Swings it in. O'Callaghan was climbing. Gavin won the header, though. And a free kick given against Fenn, who looks to the referee in bewilderment, and well, you can see why. Seemed just a collision between the two players.
Well, I'm a little bit surprised when the ball was coming in. Here the header comes out, you see Fenn going for it. Yeah, he just simply runs into the player. I think Fenn on that occasion couldn't do anything to get out of the way. I think the referee a little bit harsh there.
O'Brien. Murray onto it. Fenn. First touch looks to get turned. Keddy got an important heel on that. Now it's back to Devine. How will his clearance be? Hasn't worked out too well for the keeper, has it? Fitzpatrick. Bradley. Hasn't been on it as much as Paul Doolan would have liked. And Bradley just gave a little signal to the bench there. I'm wondering if he's struggling. Gavin forward towards Fitzpatrick. Good win by O'Donovan all the way back there. Keegan lining one up. Well, it's squirted through. And unluckily for Declan O'Brien, didn't quite hold up for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just watching the keeper just coming out. He does come out. He is a strong boy and he reads the situation so well. And I think in the early stages of the competition, his knee wasn't altogether right, but we know that there's a very able substitute.
Break is on here with O'Donovan. Needs support. Gamble is arriving. Shelley tucked in well.
Really Cork on the break, and it's being just out muscling, strong. Here's the run, comes in. You're right, lack of support. Gamble tries to get there. Simple clearance.
Now Colin O'Brien hasn't been picked up from this throw-in. Gets it back to Horgan. Stabs one in towards Behan, and Behan won the header over Jason Gavin, who took a knock. Knees down, and again Dave McKeown will whistle this up.
Well, it's a lovely flighted pass in, and Gavin's strong, but Behan does so well. Again, he puts his frame in, he just gets in front, he makes life so difficult for the centre-back, gets the header there, just not enough power, and Gavin, just unfortunately for him, well, it was a collision of heads.
And he's a tough character, Jason Gavin. And he took a heavy knock just in that collision with Dennis Behan as they both climbed for it. There you see it again. Well, Stephen Gray was initially listed as a Drogheda substitute, but he hasn't actually made it.
Well, I think Drogheda and Paul Doolan will be so pleased with the way his team has played in the second half. It's an inspirational second half, but I've got to say it's been a little bit self-inflicted. You know, Cork a little bit untidy at the back. You give the ball to players. That's why you say to players, concentrate all the time. Whatever you're doing, top quality, make it right. And on that occasion, it was Alan Bennett twice who just gave them that little bit of lift, and they've built on it.
Well, I think there might be a few players out there struggling. I'm not quite sure how fit George O'Callaghan is, and he's just holding his head in his hands in the centre circle. And I'm wondering, is his game coming to an end? Dan Murray was also signalling to the bench that something was awry. Jason Gavin will have to make his way off the pitch before Paul Doolan and Drogheda supporters will be hoping he can come back on.
Well, I'm looking at the body language of George O'Callaghan. He just is not comfortable, and you can see him putting his head in his hands, and he just simply wants to play in every game and to come off in a final.
Well, he's going to go, and Billy Woods is going to come on. Well, a real disappointing end for George O'Callaghan. He was a big gamble. He has lasted, well, almost the best part of an hour. Now Billy Woods will come on and play on either flank, and it looks like he's heading to the left. Or he will be up against a former Shamrock Rovers teammate of his, Shane Robinson, but that's a blow.
Well, I think it's a big blow because they were playing so well. I think the formation that Damien Richardson had put out and the way they were changing, rotating, it was giving Paul Doolan's team a problem, but I think now they will move into a 4-4-2, and that might suit Paul Doolan's team.
And it's O'Brien and Gamble in the middle then for Cork now. Woods on the left and O'Donovan on the right. And the Drogheda supporters will see that as a plus. George O'Callaghan going off. And it's handball by Glenn Fitzpatrick. It really hasn't been his night so far.
Well, he started off so well. I thought he was really bright, and we know when he played against Linfield he was the inspirational player, but he has been, you know, as I say, bullied out of the game and lost his concentration.
Behan holds it up well, little back heel. Roy O'Donovan, oh, it took a touch off Jason Gavin, who notched a very unfortunate own goal against Cork in the 2-0 defeat at Turner's Cross, and he'd have been holding his breath there as that shot goalwards.
Well, brilliant play. Behan so strong when the ball comes in, great control, great touch, great awareness, lovely skill. Almost got the cross. Good play from Cork.
Well, it's going to be a corner, and Danny Murphy has come across to swing it in with that left foot. Bennett's up, Murray's up. It's driven in low, and Keddy watched it all the way. A vigilant piece of defending. Here's O'Brien. The break could be on here, and it's Keddy getting forward. Held up by Colin O'Brien. Gamble back there as well, and that's going to be a free kick. Well, that was excellent from James Keddy. One end to the other. And a card for Joe Gamble.
Well, I think the card's harsh again. Joe Gamble worked so hard to get back. It was a terrific break from Drogheda. They got forward. Keddy, we know, can get forward at pace. Beautiful left foot, came inside and almost ran in to Gamble. Yeah, he looks a bit disappointed, but he does work very, very hard for the team.
Key figure for Cork, Joe Gamble. Magnificent in their march to the league crown last season, but there's George O'Callaghan looking on ruefully, along with Killian Lord and Shane Guthrie. Well, you can see how much this game meant to him. How distraught he is now. Free kick rolled short for Jason Gavin. Oh, and a little little altercation now between Gavin and Neil Horgan. Well, it was always simmering under the surface, this one. Well, several players getting involved now. Some real sorting out for the referee and his officials to do here. And it all sparked from that free kick of Jason Gavin's that was charged down. Neil Horgan and Gavin, the two men who started the aggro, going to be called to one side. Gavin, of course, is already on a yellow card. And it seemed to come from nothing, really.
Well, it was something and nothing, because when the ball was rolled, the big centre-back came up. He's a beautiful striker of the ball. He didn't get it right, but he has to expect Neil Horgan, who saw the situation, to come across, close him down. His momentum took him in, and then that's when the handbags come out.
Well, as we said, it's been a game that's been simmering under the surface. It's coming to boil nicely. Billy Woods getting involved for the first time, the substitute. Ball stays in play down in the corner. Away by Shelley. Bennett in strongly. Gamble from Murphy. Woods turns away from Bradley. Colin O'Brien now coming onto it. Finds Woods again. This is good from Cork. O'Donovan cutting in from that right-hand side. A despairing challenge from Gartland was enough just to put O'Donovan off his stride.
Well, this is the result of what took place. It was a bit of a melee and everybody pushed and shoving. And that was Dennis Bain getting involved. But the initial one, I think, was something and nothing. And I don't think that Neil Horgan could have done much about it. He was given the responsibility of being the first man to the challenge. He did his job.
Well, we passed the hour mark, and thoughts of the managers might turn to substitutions. Drogheda have a strong bench. Gavin Whelan's there. Keith Fahey is there. For Cork, well, it's some young, inexperienced players. Likes of Lally and Guthrie. Brian McCarthy in there as well, and Bean has gone in late here on Brian Shelley. And we're going to have another yellow card. Well, they're totting up.
Well, again, it's difficult for a referee, but I don't think there's a... Yeah, he's coming in studs, he's late. And the game is just getting out of hand a little bit, so I think what he's trying to do, yes, it was a foul, possibly a yellow card, and what he's doing, he's just bringing it to a conclusion, saying, yellow card, behave yourself, now let's get on with the football. And I think the referee maybe got that one completely right.
Well, it was a yellow card. From my own personal point of view, I think Bean might be a little lucky. The leg was certainly up.
Well, it's one of those things in football, and you say, we call it a hospital ball. The ball was played to the full back. He has to play it. And, of course, when the forward player's coming in, he's looking to block. And I thought, if anything, he was late, and certainly studs were shown.
Well, Neil Fenn and Graham Gartland, who've been having a running battle as well, exchanging some words. Shelley continues to receive attention.
Sometimes so difficult to call it, because quite honestly the ball's traveling at a pace, the two players are coming in, you know, at 90 degrees to one another, and you're always going to get a conflict. You're always going to get that little bit of was it not, was it late, was it high. Tough call for the referee, but I think he got that one right. Yellow card, get on with the game.
Well, it looks like Brian Shelley will be okay to continue. Paul Doolan does have a ready-made replacement if needed in Damien Lynch. For the moment, Drogheda down to 10. Kept in play. Now Bennett picks out a good ball for Gamble. Space on this left-hand side, and Shelley still not on the pitch. Woods and Murphy between them will look to capitalise. Here's Bean, layoff for Woods. Good challenge from Keegan. Drogheda will just have to fill in now. Robinson has dropped back to right back. And here's O'Brien. Fitzpatrick. Keegan. Colin O'Brien got an important foot on that, and now O'Donovan will look to use his pace. He's very quick. He's still in possession. Has support from Horgan if he wants to use him. O'Donovan heads into the corner. Now he uses Neil Horgan. Horgan gets his crossing towards the back post, and Shelley back on the pitch. First involvement is to head it behind for a corner.
Yeah, it's good play from Cork. O'Donovan's pace, we always know he's got that. On this occasion, he looks up, plays a simple pass in, one touch, crosses very deep. Two Cork men coming in the far post. Shelley does well, just to put the ball away.
Neil Fenn will take the corner. Joe Gamble offers himself as a short option. Teddy was alive to that. But now they have gone short for Gamble, who just took his eye off it. And that allowed Keegan to get a footing. Gamble, though, is battling back to win it back for Cork. Fenn, Billy Woods makes a run. Bean just inside, look to lay it off to Gamble. Shelley away, it's 100-mile-an-hour stuff now, isn't it? Fenn eases away from Keegan, neatly done. Now Keegan stuck to his task though, and Drogheda have it back. Shelley to clear. Murray sends it back, no offside flag. Done by Keegan. O'Brien wanted it to run for Fitzpatrick. Alan Bennett saw to it that it didn't. Now O'Donovan. Oh, he adjusted his body well. Little ball inside. And the referee, well, he had a little think about bringing that back for a free kick for Bradley's challenge on O'Donovan. And it's on a knife edge, the 2006 Setanta Sports Cup final. 25 minutes or so remaining. Cork have had the better chances. Still awaiting the opening goal. A lot of people convinced this would go to extra time. This could very well go to penalties. There's such a little gap between the sides. Swung in by Woods. Fenn. Well, where normally his first touch is absolutely spot on. Just couldn't take it in there. Danny Murphy. And he sold himself short there. And Shelley can take it away into the gap that Murphy has left. Gamble is working back again though. That's going to be a free kick to Cork. Terrific from Gamble once more.
Well, he's a warrior, that's for sure. And you're right, Danny Murphy had two options. Could have played it into the striker's feet, could have played it wide, took himself on a little mazy run, and this is the result. Shelley's pace, strength, got him there. Look at Gamble, tough, tenacious, wanted to get the ball. Terrific play from the midfield player.
Well, games can swing on moments like that. Midfielder who didn't give up the run, bailed out his fullback. That's beaten both Gavin and Behan. Fenn. Woods onto that right foot, adept with either foot, and it might break for O'Donovan, who opted to try and take it first time.
Well, it's good service in, early service in from Billy Woods. When it works its way through, the disc is in, it's the right option, but when it's coming like that at pace, you've got time to one touch and then strike it. He just picked the wrong option on that occasion.
Gamble and Keegan this time. Keegan proves stronger. It's in Fenn's direction. Neil Horgan being advised by his captain to go back to his goalkeeper. Devine gets his clearance, and his work with the ball at his feet hasn't been as effective, as productive. Obviously that injury is still bothering him to some degree. Gavin's header straight to Fenn. Teddy working back. Webb was closed down by Dennis B, and that will be a Cork City throw-in.
I think that's been very evident from both sides tonight, is the work rate, very committed, closing players down very quickly.
Fenn, layoff for Colin O'Brien to strike one. Final touch came off Brian Shelley. That will be a corner. Shelley wasn't to know where Billy Woods was.
Well, I think it's good play. It's lovely pass, lovely setup. And Colin O'Brien, we know, strikes a beautiful ball. Not occasion right across the goal. It might have went to a player. As it is, he's got a corner kick.
Colin O'Brien, scorer of the opener against Shelburne in the semi-final. Here's the corner. Dan Connor shouts loud and claims. And we're certainly seeing, as the clubs enter the professional era, of course, two very fit sides here. And you get a feeling extra time won't be a problem to them if it comes to that. It's been played at a cracking pace. Murphy in solidly, just once but twice. Both sets of supporters doing their best to get that extra % out of their sides. Bradley, when Fitzpatrick was coming in around the back.
Again, the problem has been created by Cork themselves. They've given the ball away in a poor area. The keeper knew exactly where the ball was when Patrick was coming in, but it was always going to go beyond him and also the striker. But I think this is where Damien Richards is a bit disappointed with some of his back players. They've just been careless and given the ball away and given Drogheda that little bit of encouragement.
Well, they might have been second best in the first period, but Drogheda are certainly in this one now, and Bradley tried to squeeze Keddy through. Neil Horgan made the vital interception for Cork City. Gamble. Fenn showing up well again. Good touch to take him away from Gavin. Billy Woods. Gets his cross in. Simon Webb, under no real pressure, made the clearance. And now Robinson. O'Brien and Bennett, never more than a yard between those two. Retrieved by Neil Horgan. Murray looks to switch it. Terrific ball that for Billy Woods. Faced again by Shelley. Hopes to go on the outside this time and gets his cross in as well. It will come all the way to the back for O'Donovan. Drills one across goal, and Gavin with an important clearance.
Well, that's fantastic play from Cork. Both wingers involved. Billy Woods on the first occasion does so well to get the cross in. O'Donovan following through on the far side. I like that from my right-sided midfield player. And then he drives it across the goal. Not a bad option.
Here's the cross, away by Robinson. Well, George O'Callaghan may have gone, but Cork now have two attack-minded wide men, and Colin O'Brien fancying his chances there. It does give them that option, doesn't it, of attacking down either wing now.
Yeah, this is what Woods does so well. He gets a cross in, and normally that ball would run straight out of play, but O'Donovan didn't allow it to go there. He followed it through, drove the ball across, really needed a green and white shirt to get in there, but difficult to defend against.
And it lands right down below us where Danny Murphy won it. Bean. And I think even Paul Keegan was giving that up as a free kick, but the referee didn't see it that way. Away by Murphy, who was caught late by Fitzpatrick. Now Fitzpatrick has been booked. The Cork fans baying for a second yellow card here, but the referee diffusing the situation. Well, I wonder what went through Glenn Fitzpatrick's mind there.
He's a lucky man. Murphy does it. You can see him coming in, pushing, shoving. Doesn't need to do it. Silly. And he knows he's on a yellow card.
Well, that could well be Glenn Fitzpatrick's last chance. And indeed, Glenn Fitzpatrick's game is over. Mark Leach is going to come on. He was a doubt. Hasn't trained much this week with a knee injury, but Paul Doolan perhaps realising that he needs to keep 11 out there.
Well, he's been actually quite disappointing tonight, Glenn Fitzpatrick, for me, because I thought when he started off, he's a very clever player. He was dropping into space. He was giving Dan Murray a tremendous problem, but Murray's strong, very competitive. He worked his way into the game, and Fitzpatrick has been very quiet.
Mark Leach then comes on, scorer of Drogheda United's first ever goal in the Setanta Sports Cup. Got the winner against Dungannon in their opening game. Pat on the back from Paul Doolan for his striker Glenn Fitzpatrick, who's certainly tried hard tonight, but it just hasn't been his night. What can Leach add? Robinson. Well, that was for Bradley. That's a little bit much of the number 15. And the longer it goes on, the nerves might certainly come into it. As we said at the outset, cup finals, everyone wants to be the hero. Nobody wants to be the one who makes the mistake. Gartland, Bradley. Gartland again. Fenn. Fenn once more. Teases a lovely ball out to Donovan on the right-hand side. Billy Woods is screaming for it at the back post. Oh, Donovan holds it and holds it. And eventually, Dennis Bean looked to take it on the chest, and the whistle has gone against the big striker, but O'Donovan had a chance to get his cross in there.
Well, I think he was unaware that O'Brien was just behind him, and I think that might have been the call. I'm not sure whether it was handball or a call without a name that the referee gave the free kick for. He's indicating his arm, so it might have been a handball. But again, good play. Fenn heavily involved. O'Donovan, he's a real threat down that right-hand side with his pace.
Murphy again going up against Robinson. Two real terriers down that side of the pitch. That's for Declan O'Brien. Keegan with the ball in towards Leach. Murphy will scamper to try and keep it in play, but he won't. And Mark Leach has won his side a corner, and that's the signal for the 5 and 6, Gavin and Gartland, to head up. Can Drogheda find a lead goal here from a set piece? Keddy swings it in, and it was a poor delivery. Easy for Neil Horgan to head clear.
Very frustrating that, you know, when you have worked all your players up, set pieces you work on, you've got to get the delivery right.
Keddy, that's a neat turn. Once again, there's Campbell trying to make the challenge, but Keddy does well. And that's going to be another corner. And the Drogheda fans behind the goal will do everything in their power to will this one in, but it does need a good delivery. James Keddy is going to get a second chance, a chance to produce something better. Keddy gives the signal, then goes short for Shelley, who just looked to stand one up towards the back post. Well, that was a training ground one. It didn't quite work though, as it did do in practice, I'm sure, during the week.
Well, Paul Dunn will be absolutely distraught with that. That's two set pieces. He brings the big 5, the big 6 up. You got to put in good service. They've worked hard at it. A simple pullback, a simple cross, get it into the dangerous area, and they've just let Cork out of jail. .5 minutes
of normal time remaining. Here's Leach. There's a couple of men inside, but pass couldn't find either O'Brien or Robinson. And Danny Murphy picks out a good ball for Fenn, and O'Donovan is set off on the right-hand side, and Woods will look to find him. Well, perhaps it was Fenn's ball to pass originally.
Well, Billy Woods will be very disappointed. Fenn, he's such an intelligent player. He knows how to find space. He's great awareness. It's a lovely layoff for Woods, and all he has to simply do is pass the ball out to O'Donovan. Let himself down.
Well, we're edging closer and closer to an extra 30 minutes. Murphy forward. It's beaten Dennis Bean. Gartland put enough pressure on.
Well, when you approach the last 10 minutes, you've said it, teams become a little bit more cautious, and sometimes it's the bravest side who really take the game to the scruff of the neck and say, we're going to go for this winner now. It's so late in the game that maybe get the reward. So both teams defensively, they've got to be concentrating at a high level. Forward players, have they got something special, something different to change the outcome of this match?
Simon Webb, deep in his own territory, gets his clearance in. Horgan wins the header. O'Donovan, little one for O'Brien. Gamble, nice triangles from Cork City. Chance for Horgan to get his cross in. Gavin solid in the air again. Bradley, it's a hopeful one forward. Now, where's this going to drop? Devine comes for it. Had to win the header as Leach was advancing rapidly. Likes to play as a sweeper, Michael Devine. It's a pumping challenge. Roy O'Donovan backtracking.
I do think Cork a little bit slack at the back. Dan Murray, when that ball was just lobbed up, was a real Gary Owen. I think he felt it was going right through the goalkeeper and just allowed it to go there. And of course it didn't, and Michael Devine really had to do something very special, and on that occasion did it very well. Yeah, I think he does well, and you always ask keepers to concentrate and read the script, and he played like a sweeper keeper there, didn't he?
Well, Roy O'Donovan hasn't really been in it this second half after an impressive first half showing. He's been more or less out in that wing as well, where he was interchanging in the first half, and Cork really haven't got him into it as much as they would have wanted, perhaps.
Well, he's a very dangerous player. He's got that one commodity we all would like, and very hard to defend against, and it's pace, so you get the ball out to him, and I think once or twice he's threatened, and you just want that little bit more from him.
And if it does go to extra time, dare we mention penalties, what a story it would be for Michael Devine. Come back into the side after injury, face a penalty shootout. Two excellent goalkeepers, two great shot stoppers, but we won't look that far ahead just yet. Shelley down the line for Robinson. Murphy looking to make the challenge. It's for Shelley now. O'Brien just looked to help it on towards Keegan. Robinson, a bit of daylight now. Nice layoff. Declan O'Brien. Can he pick someone out here? And it's headed behind by Neil Horgan. Well, the Drogheda fans believing now that it's there for them.
Yeah, fantastic play. Lovely feed into this forward player. The ball wide. First touch not great. Just looks up, smacks it in. Great defended by Horgan.
James Keddy again. Can he pick someone out this time? Well, again, it's gone near post. And again, it's Neil Horgan to get it clear. Fenn needed some help there, and he found it in Danny Murphy. Roy O'Donovan, B&O, if he could have taken that under control. There were men on the right side. Bennett beats Declan O'Brien. O'Donovan's layoff for Neil Horgan. Goes down smartly by Stephen Bradley.
Yeah, but again, he slows down quickly, but I do think the Cork defenders, in this second half especially, have been caught in possession 2 and 3 times. And I think what Drogheda are doing, they're closing down. Well, if Cork know that, they've got to pass the ball quicker, they've got to make their mind up quickly.
Well, Keith Fahey is standing there next to Paul Doolan. Will he be making an entrance soon? Here's Declan O'Brien. Nice ball inside. And the most important of touches from Alan Bennett just took it away from Mark Leach.
Yeah, it's good play. And when you see the ball being led back, it's a lovely lay back, and you're right. Bennett, fantastic touch. Very, very important.
Michael Devine seeking Billy Woods. Won though by Robinson. Murray to switch it. Lovely ball for Roy O'Donovan. Takes it on the chest and looks to take on Simon Webb now. Keddy is looking to get back there and help out his fullback. And he's given it straight to Neil Horgan. Chance for Horgan to cross. Well, Horgan's gotten into the box. Can he pick someone out here? Neil Horgan. Fenn. And it still might break. And Drogheda smuggle it clear. And Declan O'Brien now to lead the counter. Has men inside. He's just been robbed of it by Joe Gamble. Well, that's got the Cork supporters going now. Keddy. And Gamble, another who'll have to be careful.
I think he's been outstanding tonight, Gamble. He's been all over the pitch covering, but this is brilliant from the fullback. Got in, 2 or 3 options, tried to pull the ball back. It just seemed to skip up at the last moment, and Fenn had hit him on the knee. It still wasn't away. All credit to Drogheda to defend it so well, but for Cork, yeah, that's better.
7 minutes now remaining of normal time. That's going to go for a Cork City goal kick. And Keith Fahey looks like he's preparing to make his entrance. He's been out for 6 weeks or so with a knee injury. Came back in injury time against UCD. Didn't get to kick the ball. Got on the pitch all right. And it's going to be Shane Robinson who makes way. Keith Fahey, well, if only for his set-piece deliveries alone, he's a valuable substitute. Big signing for Drogheda from St. Patrick's Athletic. And he can provide a creative outlet. Can he provide the match winner, though? Bradley, challenged by Colin O'Brien, who's incensed, along with the Cork bench, that's been given as a free kick.
Well, I don't think the referee has got that right. Once again, you see him get in. He definitely makes contact with the ball. The referee just needs to be careful. He's trying to get a lid on it. You can't be too fussy.
Bennett wins the header. Keddy, faced by O'Donovan and Horgan. This will break for Billy Woods. Has Murphy on his left. Goes back instead for Dan Murray, the captain. Horgan. Murray. Murphy. For Behan. Holds off Jason Gavin. Colin O'Brien. Men to the right-hand side. Fenn will pick out Roy O'Donovan. Looks to get into the box and go at Simon Webb. Still O'Donovan goes, taken off him by Colin O'Brien. Now Horgan. Fenn. Some of the momentum taken out of this Cork attack. Drogheda getting men back in numbers, and now they've everyone behind the ball. Murray. Woods. Held up by Shelley. Gets his cross in. Gavin heads away. Keegan. Leach wants it. Fahy's first touch. Declan O'Brien. Danny Murphy wins it back for Cork. And a poor delivery for once from Murphy.
Yeah, but there's a bit of steel about Cork at the moment. They look as if they're taking the game by the scruff of the neck. They're really determined to try and not let it go into extra time. Getting the ball down fast and playing. It's that final third. It's just not working for them at the moment.
It really is about the courage to grab this game now in the closing minutes, to make it yours. Devine will seek Fenn here. Once again holds off Gartland, and those two are having a right tussle again. And it's still going on as play goes on, and O'Donovan shows pace around the back, cuts it back, and Gavin puts it behind.
Well, that's where O'Donovan can be brilliant, isn't it? Nice and simple. The ball's let down. Fenn very strong once again. There was a foul. Referee did well. Let it go on. This is O'Donovan. Pure pace. Knocked it past the full-back. Whipped it in. Decent defending. A good attack.
Fenn will take the corner. Still with jersey intact after that tangle with Gartland. Drills one towards the penalty spot, and again Gavin is alert. Very impressive second half from Gavin. Now is that going to run for another corner? It is, won by Neil Fenn, and it will be taken by Neil Fenn. Fenn, this time headed away by Keddy, and Fahy had picked up a good position. And now Leach. There's Gamble once more. He's been towering in this second half. He just seemed to up his game even more with the departure of George O'Callaghan. Heads forward towards Behan. He's tangling with Jason Gavin, two strong men together. And Webb to clear for Drogheda. Gamble once more is on it. Dan Murray wants it. And the seconds ticking by. Murray. O'Donovan popping up on the left-hand side. And the offside flag is up.
Well, we always speak about this moment in the game when players maybe a little bit of fatigue, certainly concentration. It has to be of a high quality, because the play now to give one away the ball in a dangerous position, one mistake you feel would be absolutely crucial.
Well, we have to credit both sets of supporters. They've made it a magnificent evening, but neither has had a goal to cheer yet. Dan Connor produced two wonderful saves from O'Donovan early on. George O'Callaghan hit the post. Since then, it's been a real battle, and Behan is off in chase here. Dan Connor is tempted to come from goal, and he got the most important touch.
Well, I think the keeper was lucky. I thought Dennis Behan, terrific run. I thought he took the wrong option when the ball's played. It's lovely movement right along the line. I felt there, that's what he should have taken it on the right side. And he was at pace. The keeper was cut out. Could have been an open goal.
Well, Connor was committed, and Drogheda escaped.
Well, you just feel that was the big moment with 2 minutes to play and extra time. That's going to be the case. And Cork really are on a roll at the moment. You feel they're the team most likely if anything's going to happen in the last minute.
And here's Declan O'Brien. Murphy forward for Woods. Is there to be a dramatic ending to this one? Keddy, neatly done by Drogheda. Work their way out of a tight space and find Fatty. Away by Bennett. On O'Brien into the corner. Shelley will make his way forward as we're into injury time. 2 minutes is all that will be added. Bradley. Oh, he looked to just play one into the feet of Mark Leach. Devine. Screaming at his players to give him something to aim for. Comes off the head of Simon Webb, away by Graham Gartland. Leach. Bennett will have to be careful. Leach was just looking to get in around the back.
Well, as we approach the last minute, it has been a very competitive cup final, that's for sure. Both managers should be delighted with their teams, really. And I think the Cork manager will be disappointed with those 2 misses in the first half, but I think the second half, Paul Doolan's team have played better, but you just feel at the moment Cork look the stronger side, the team most likely to get that goal which could really win that final.
Well, the better chances have certainly come the way of Damien Richardson's side. As we've seen so often, a side that doesn't take its chances can often be caught. Here's Billy Woods, will look to keep that in play. And Shelley happy to usher it behind for a goal kick. Well, Paul Doolan will be planning, I'm sure, now for the extra 30 minutes. Dave McKeown has had a look at the watch. There's still some seconds remaining. Roy O'Donovan heads it all the way back to his goalkeeper. Dave McKeown has another look at the watch, and there it is. Deadlocked after 90 minutes. We're heading for extra time. Nothing to separate Cork City and Drogheda United. Damien Richardson is on with the fluids for his players. Time for the managers now to work the oracle. Words of inspiration needed. 90 minutes gone. Cork City 0, Drogheda United 0. We're heading to extra time. Are we heading for penalties? It's been a tough battle, and there's more to come. He was still full of running. And he was looking to find Dennis Behan. That's going to run out for a Drogheda goal kick.
But that's what Murphy does so well. When he gets the ball, he just takes off, takes the team with him. On that occasion, he tried to curl the ball down the line. It was just a little bit too heavy. Dennis Behan was the player trying to get on the end of it.
Well, both sides have already been very busy this season, and it's testimony to their fitness levels that they played at the tempo they did right to the 90 minutes, and now, of course, beyond. Cork City had the better of the first half. Drogheda certainly came roaring back into it in the second. Who will have the better of extra time? Bennett. Easy win by Gartland. Colin O'Brien. Keegan there. Murphy looking to switch it in the direction of Roy O'Donovan. He just slipped but reacted quickly. And that's for Declan O'Brien. His touch was a poor one.
You know, when you get this stage, there's sometimes mental strength more than anything else. Physically, you've just got to keep going. You're on adrenaline, it's a final, the crowd is terrific, the pitch is wonderful. Mental strength now.
Behan even did enough to allow Simon Webb a chance. Dan Connor away. Murray wins the header. Billy Woods taken off his toe by Fahy, and now Leach. Devine advancing from his goal. Well, he's dealt with it. Not by the most obvious of routes, but it was effective nonetheless.
Well, I think he was unsure, was it going to run into the box? I think it might have done that, but he took the bull by the horn and just dealt with it, and that's good goalkeeping, you've got to say.
It's certainly one of his strengths, Michael Devine, his work outside the penalty area. Here goes Fahy on the outside, and he's been knocked off it by Danny Murphy. He's being waved away by the assistant referee on the far side as he protests his innocence. Not quite sure he has much to protest about.
No, under the nose of the official. On that occasion, the official got it right. Now, set pieces could be crucial. Good service. You mentioned it before, the service from Drogheda wasn't very good in the second half.
Well, Fahy can produce. Fantastic right foot. Drills one in. It will come all the way across for Stephen Bradley. Puts it back into the mix, and Michael Devine will happily claim that one.
Yeah, too close, but great goalkeeping. You could see him working in the line, watched it the whole way. Good safe hands.
Dennis Bean will chase this down, but Gartland wins the header. Colin O'Brien onto it smartly. And it was a tired-looking shot. Now Roy O'Donovan. Teddy back there to win it back for Drogheda, but here's Gamble. Real bundle of energy in midfield for Cork, and exerting a growing influence on this game. Woods inside for Fenn. Has a yard or two to work with. Woods again. This time onto the right foot. Swings one towards the back post, and Connor backpedaling. Once again, a safe pair of hands.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's a high swinging cross. Keeper watched it the whole way, but I'm looking at the players that do look a little bit fatigued at the moment, so it's important now you don't give the ball away cheaply. Get the ball, keep it, work your opponent, work him physically, work him mentally.
Paul Doolan has made 2 changes. Damien Richardson 1. Shelley. Murphy away. There's Gamble again, just putting his body in a position that meant Shelley couldn't use the ball. Murphy away. Only being up there though, easy for Gartland. Declan O'Brien. Bradley. O'Brien. He was looking for the run of Leach on the outside. O'Brien is cursing his luck. It's beaten Fenn and Shelley. Moving along by Gavin. Flick on. Goes only as far as Dan Murray. And as it's going on, Drogheda seem to be enjoying this game more and more.
Well, it'd be very hard to call a winner at the moment. I felt the movement was with Cork, but certainly from the restart, Drogheda are getting the ball down, passing and playing and looking a little bit more confident.
Keddy. Keegan available. Gamble again closing him down smartly. Hooked forward, and Leach is in behind here. Needs some support, opted to knock it in first time. Dan Murray had positioned himself well. Webb towering over Roy O'Donovan, and that's going to go for a throw-in right down by the corner flag.
Well, it's a lazy cross, isn't it? And I felt there the keeper could have came and maybe did more, just taking the ball off the big centre back and made it easy for him.
Brian Shelley. Morgan wins a good header against Declan O'Brien. Now it might work out for Leach. Lovely first touch. Oh, and you could see what he tried to do with the second. Just tried to loft it over Michael Devine.
But there has been a change in the play, and certainly Drogheda are picking up more second balls. Certainly when the ball's played in the middle of the park, their midfield are really coming into the game, picking it up, passing and playing, and really giving Cork a little problem.
Well, their players have been saying this season they really are a fit bunch. Bradley will have to be careful here. Little word to the referee, and now he's kicked the ball away.
Yeah, his touch was almost right. The keeper had committed himself, so they can feel a little bit fortunate there, Cork, on that occasion.
Now, what can Cork produce by way of a response at the other end? Swept wide again towards Roy O'Donovan, who's quick, but not quite that quick.
Well, O'Donovan's one of those players who can actually change the course of this game, so we saw him in fits and starts in the first half, certainly, a little bit in the second half. He has tremendous pace, so they got to get the ball down, and I feel Cork are always better when they get the ball down, pass and play through the middle of the park, feed it off front players, and get the ball wide.
And there's George O'Callaghan looking on, strapped up after his early withdrawal from the game through injury. Well, you just feel that Cork City would love to have a John O'Flynn, even to throw on for a few minutes now.
But there we had Neil Fenn, who's a very clever player, very intelligent player, sees things, trying the hard ball, simple ball out to O'Donovan, let him get on with it.
Well, they're two sides stubborn in nature, believe they're the best in the country, and they're slugging it out here at Tolka Park in an effort to prove that. Challenge from Dan Murray. Danny Murphy sends it forward, and again Bean will have to chase it. Gavin will have to play it, and Dan Connor will have to clear it. Now Billy Woods coming onto it. Oh, an enticing ball outside of the right boot towards Roy O'Donovan. Dan O'Connor smartly advanced.
Well, Dan Connor did well on that occasion, early service, but when the ball fell to Woods, it was a clever pass. He thought it was right. It was just the execution let him down.
Keddy inside and away from Bennett. Declan O'Brien. Simon Webb getting forward in support. Cork City are preparing a change, more on that in a moment. Bradley, right hand side, lovely ball for Fahy. Oh, and Fahy just looked to whip it in with pace.
Yeah, it's a fabulous crossfield pass. Went like an arrow, and I don't know what he actually thought about there. Was it a cross? Was it a shot? At the end, he did simply nothing.
Well, Dennis Behan's game has come to an end. He hasn't been able to add to his 4 goals in the competition so far. And it's young Brian McCarthy who's coming on. Has already featured in the competition as a substitute. And one of the youngsters coming through. What can McCarthy produce? Here is McCarthy's first involvement. Strong against Gavin. Roy O'Donovan away from Webb. Now to take on Keddy, to go inside. Webb was backing up. Horgan gets his cross in, and the header going in from Neil Fenn. Just looked to use the pace in the ball to guide it goalwards.
Yeah, it's actually good play. O'Donovan, once again, he loses out, but it's the early service in. It's a flat service in. It just gets there. Fenn pins the centre back and just glances the ball, lets the pace do all the work, and it just slides outside the post. Unfortunate, good attempt.
Fahy. Oh, and the offside flag is up. It's Declan O'Brien. Just about 4 minutes remaining in the first period of extra time. Still, these two can't be separated.
I think also what managers have to consider, they'll have to be mindful of the penalty kick situation, so they'll certainly not want to take off one of the regular penalty kick takers. So it's a busy time for managers.
And Damien Richardson has been forced into that, of course, with the departure of George O'Callaghan, who's scored a few penalties already this season for Cork City. Murphy straight to Fahy. Here goes Bradley, and a lovely ball through for Mark Leach. Great chance for Leach, and Mark Leach will score. The Drogheda United substitute with just his second chance of the game, has taken it. His father scored some important goals in his day, but now the son has done it.
Well, it's a good move. Unfortunately, Cork give the ball away again. They've been guilty of that on one or two occasions, but taking nothing away from this man, Fahy. Came in, first touch was excellent, keeper advanced, kept us cool, kept us calm, and just simply slotted the ball past him. Terrific finish, big goal.
Well, Bradley made up the ground to make the pass, and Leach, well, he controlled it so well. Devine was advancing, had to keep his cool, and what a finish that is. His second goal in the tournament. He scored Drogheda's first against Dungannon, as he scored their last and most important. Now it's up to Cork City to respond.
Well, they've simply got to go for broke now as we approach the end of the first half of extra time. They've simply just got to be mindful that they've got to get people forward, and certainly in set pieces they've got to put good service in. There has to be terrific movement, and they've got to take that chance if it comes their way.
James Keddy, the man penalised here. That will give Fenn this opportunity to put one in the box. There's going to be another change. Colin O'Brien is going off, and Admir Softic coming on. Final throw of the dice from Damien Richardson. Softic, in terms of build, well, he's almost a George O'Callaghan replica. Can he inspire Cork to a revival here? Fenn puts one in. Might break for Softic. All this while there's a Cork player down, it's Billy Woods. Drogheda having some trouble clearing here. Softic. Well, the Cork City youngsters are now on the pitch. Sent forward by Murphy in the direction of the captain, Dan Murray, who stayed up there. McCarthy, no foul. Well, look how quickly Cork are trying to win it back now. Goal behind. A minute left in the first period of extra time.
Well, they say there's never a bad time to score a goal, but I think for Paul Doolan, he'll be delighted with that goal. It'll settle his players down, and they were working themselves into the game, but you've got to say that Damien Richardson will be very, very disappointed with his defenders, certainly in the second half. And again, they give the ball away. They simply dwelt on the ball. They were allowed to be closed down. And when it went that time, it went down into the back of the net.
Our Cork set to rue those missed first half chances. Murphy. McCarthy will chase here. Away by Jason Gavin. On by Fahy, but it's gone out of play. Well, Cork need to summon on all their reserves now, because Drogheda are coming more and more and more into it, and that goal has given them just that extra bit of impetus now. One additional minute at the end of this first period of extra time.
But it's amazing how a goal inspires you. It just seems to give you that extra, spring in your step, and certainly at the moment they just look as if it's raised their game.
Horgan, Drogheda, the 1-0 masters this season. Now they set for another, and so a cup final win. Gamble wanted to have a smack at that. Lansdowne Conley, O'Donovan. Still Roy O'Donovan. Into a blind alley there. That's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, simply the wrong option. Gamble did well. He could have went for the strike. Saw it wasn't right. His body shape wasn't ready for it. He passed the ball to O'Donovan. Sometimes you've just got to get there. You have plenty of space, dress it, and then whip it in. You might get a deflection of a defender. You might get one of your own players getting the deflection. But you simply need to put that ball into the dangerous area.
Well, the first half of extra time is soon to come to an end. It will be a quick turnaround, and Drogheda United have the advantage. Jason Gavin just applauding everyone he's near. Graham Gartland across. What do we do now, boss?
Well, it's very simple. They've just got to defend what they've got. They've got to keep good shape. They've got to be mentally strong. They've got to concentrate. If they do all of that, they've won the cup. But I do think that Cork have got to come back into it. They've got to throw people forward, and that's where Drogheda might be just clever on the break. So it's going to be an intriguing second half of the extra time, and I still think there's a twist in the tail of this game. Yeah, it was young Danny Murphy who had lost the ball on that occasion, and that pass was super, lovely soft pass, and this is where he did so well. He kept his eye on the ball, he kept calm, he kept cool. Keeper couldn't have done any more, closed him down, and I think the ball actually was played between his legs, but it was a super finish.
Paul Doolan first saw Mark Leach at UCD. He's obviously tracked him, and isn't it paying dividends now? An injury doubt during the week, and aren't Drogheda happy that he made it? Well, anxious faces in the Cork crowd now. It started so well for them, past the first half of normal time. Since then, Drogheda have really come at them. Here we go again. Crunching challenge on young Brian McCarthy by a combination of Gartland and Bradley. Here's Leach. Softitch wins it back. Joe Gamble. Murphy. Down the line. Flick on by Billy Woods, away by Gavin. His experience will be crucial in the next 15 minutes or so. Horgan. O'Donovan. Webb lost his footing. Can O'Donovan provide? Gartland is out from the middle. O'Donovan's gone looking for a free kick. Well, he's going to get a corner.
Well, I think he's done brilliant on this occasion. Lovely touch, lovely change of pace. Gets there. That's when you whip in that early service. Just curl it round the full back. If you take another man on, they're doubling up on him. You've got to get the service in.
Dan Murray makes his way up. Then towards the penalty spot. And away by Brian Shelley. Horgan for Gamble. Leach is working back. Horgan again. Danny Murphy. Drops one in there. Won by Simon Webb, and there's Neil Fenn fancying a go there. Cork will hope to get a corner from this, and they have.
Well, Paul Doolan have expected this. He'll have told the players they're just going to come at you. Here, the service is going to come in. You've got to defend, you've got to head the ball, you've got to head. You've got to get it away.
Well, the longer it goes, will we see Dan Murray stay up front for Cork City? Taken short to Gamble. Fenn. Now it does get his crossing. Flicked on by the captain. Now come from McCarthy. That's going to be another corner. 3 in quick succession for Cork City. Fenn once more to deliver. Flick on by Softitch. Pressure on though with some Shelley. Now O'Brien will look to break. And that's back towards O'Brien from Leach. Murphy. And now Cork have several men forward here. There goes the cross, and an important header from Simon Webb. And it's all hands to the pump now for Drogheda.
Absolutely, but what a good game. And that occasion, Danny Murphy, brilliant, great crossfield pass. I think Neil Fenn did exactly the right thing. Tried to curl it round the defender. The defender did well to get it away.
It's all about concentration now. 3 Drogheda players hurling themselves at that ball. Desperate to get it clear. Crossing chance now for Horgan, straight at Jason Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin's position was terrific. Read the script, blocked off the front post. Anything that was going to come in, he was going to deal with it.
And almost everyone for Cork up there now. Gamble in solidly against Bradley. Drogheda United throw in, and that will eat up some precious seconds.
Well, what Drogheda need to do now is they just need to simply make sure they get on the ball. And when they do get it, they keep it. Don't give it away cheaply, because they know Cork are going to throw it back in. They're going to put people forward.
And now a chance for Fahy on the break here. Look to go on the outside of Danny Murphy, who timed his challenge superbly, but again, That keeps the ball up at the end of the pitch that Drogheda wanted.
Yeah, but it's a great challenge. He's in the box, has to make it, sliding challenge. Don't see it so often. Terrific tackle.
Fahy in no particular hurry to take this. Not surprisingly, goes into the corner to his captain, Declan O'Brien. Woods and Murphy trying to ease him off it, and they've managed that. McCarthy challenging against Gavin. Softic is quickly onto it. And still Softic goes. They've high hopes for this guy in Cork. Comfortable on the ball. Picks out a good pass for Fenn. Oh, he was eased off it by Simon Webb, and now this is a chance.
Well, Softic does brilliant here. Terrific pace, terrific skill, great vision. He just pumps the ball in there. Yeah, it was a soft challenge. Referee was in there, but Fenn, very clever, knows exactly how to buy. Yeah, I'm not even sure there's much contact at all. Dangerous position. Fenn clever.
Well, Dan Connor cuts an extremely animated figure on his goal line. He knows if he can prevent anything getting past him now, that Drogheda will be crowned Setanta Sports Cup champions. Now Fenn is there, Murphy's there, Roy O'Donovan too. What can Cork City conjure from here? Oh, it's gone wrong. Cross wires between the three players involved, and Gartland whacks it clear to a huge ovation from the Drogheda United supporters. A wasted opportunity for Cork. Murray sends it back, no flag. Gartland strong at the heart of the defence, back in by Gamble, and now the flag is up.
Yeah, when you get a set piece like this, and I'm sure Damien Richardson will work at it so many times, the players will know exactly what to do. There'll be 1, 2, 3 maybe options, and you've just simply got to get one of them, and there's a little moment of concentration from those three players, and they just didn't do it on that occasion. Disappointing.
Well, I'll remind you, Brian, in about 5 minutes' time we're going to have to ask you for a man of the match from this one. I'll leave you think about that.
Well, it's difficult. There's been so many good performances tonight. Dan Murray, I see, going to play at centre forward, so they're really going for broke now.
Well, it's as expected. The captain's gone up front. 3 at the back now for Cork, if even that. Woods. O'Donovan. Has he another run in him? Horgan going on in support, and that's for Neil Horgan. Take on Simon Webb. Gets his cross in, and it might fall for the captain, Murray. Cleared away by Brian Shelley. And now on the break, Leach and Danny Murphy stood strong. Back to the other end, Roy O'Donovan keeps it in to go at Webb again, to get his cross in, charge down another Cork City corner.
You know, Cork have played really well tonight, and I think the lads spoke about it in the studio. All that pressure, did they need to turn one of those chances into a goal?
Horgan comes off Graham Gartland, who immediately retreats once more back into that defensive shell. Alan Bennett, Softic, muscled out of it. And it's very much one-way traffic now, not surprisingly. Here's Joe Gamble. Danny Murphy sends it once again out to that right-hand side towards O'Donovan, who wins the header. Might fall here for Gamble, just took his eye off it. Softic retrieves. O'Donovan. Well, he just again tried the more difficult option. And now Roy O'Donovan has conceded a free kick. A word for the referee, he'll have to be careful.
Well, I'm not sure there's much contact, but it's a little bit of frustration because, again, O'Donovan, and he is a lovely ball out to him, his control's good, and sometimes with so many bodies in front of you, you've just got to pick out a pass, pick out a cross, and he's let himself down once or twice tonight on that scale.
6.5 minutes remaining in the 2006 Setanta Sports Cup final. It's been a titanic struggle. Dan Connor taking as long as he possibly can over this, and will look to send it right down into the corner. That's a good tactic. Cork City have a throw-in, but deep in their own territory.
Well, it's been hard to pick man of the match. Connor saves, Gavin for Drogheda, very good. I thought Murray was outstanding with Donovan, but my man of the match is Joe Gamble.
Well, Gamble will still be hoping. That's not the only award he will pick up this evening. Still time for Cork City. Murphy. Woods to switch it. Fenn beaten in the air. Gamble coming onto it. Softitch tried to help it on, but Gartland is really rising to the challenge back there for Drogheda. That's a good header. Now O'Brien. Murphy. Again, last-ditch challenge from the Cork City left-back. Morgan held up, and he's going to be forced back to his goalkeeper. We're about to enter the final 5 minutes. Still Mark Leach's goal after 101 minutes is what separates the sides. Fahy. Softitch is in chase. Still Fahy goes. And Fahy has won his side a free kick.
Good play by Fahy. He just held on to the ball, invited the challenge, knew it, to eat up the clock, did all of that, got the free kick.
And they're cheering the Cork supporters Joe Gamble's name as he's been announced as the man of the match. Can they fashion an equaliser in the dying minutes? Well, you get the feeling we're at the dawn of a real emerging rivalry between these two sides. Drogheda won their first cup final meeting back in December. Are they to make it a double? O'Donovan ducks under, and he could be away again here. Keddy is striving to get back there. Still O'Donovan goes, shrugs off Gartland now. Still with Roy O'Donovan. And he's won his side a corner, terrific.
Well, that's simply a fantastic run. Determination, real strength, body strength. He pushes players around him, gets there. I would just like to see him putting it across that split second earlier.
Well, Michael Devine is up for this corner, and Devine will challenge for it. Who's it going to drop to? That's a goal kick, final touch off Softitch.
Well, it's a good corner kick in, lots of bodies in there, and that's all you can do. Lots of movement, attack the ball, and all credit to Paul Doolan's side. They've stayed there, defended well, and got the ball away.
Well, when Cork needed a break in there, when they needed it to fall their way, it didn't happen. Is that a further sign it's going to be Drogheda United's night?
Well, I think Damien Richardson, when he said and he spoke about the cup final last year, his team didn't perform and they just didn't play as well as they can play. But tonight, I think they put on an outstanding performance. The one thing missing is just a goal.
Drogheda's potential match winner has it in the corner, Mark Leach. Gamble coming away with it. Gamble getting involved with Leach here. Cork on with it quickly. Neil Horgan. Danny Murphy. It's got to go forward quickly. Murray against Gavin. Will come for Danny Murphy. Down the line, and that's always going to be Dan Connor favoured here. But it was just easing out of his area. Had to put a head on it, just to be sure.
I thought it was a strange one. I felt he was inside, but to be fair to the lad, didn't want to take any risks.
Billy Woods gets a cross in, and Connor claims it once more. Terrific under the high ball tonight.
Great catch, but I think he'll reflect on his game. He'll think about those two catches, two saves in the first half. That's a super catch, and just take your time. And he's done his job, but that save from O'Donovan and then the second save from O'Donovan in the first half, they were terrific.
The amateur whistlers from Drogheda have started. A minute and a half remaining, and we think an extra additional minute on top of that. Time is ticking away though. Paul Doolan on the verge of an historic win. That That'll be another Cork City throw-in.
Well, there's no doubt that this has become one of the major competitions in football in Ireland, and it's so important financially and also from credibility for teams now to win it. Linfield built on it. Oh, the keeper's lucky.
Well, the flag was up, and yes, Dan Connor, the one he dropped, he's gotten away with.
Did he see the flag? Until he did. He got underneath it. Maybe it's just his man. But I had reason to be in Dungannon, and they're really looking forward. They're hoping they're back in next year. Everybody wants to take part in it. It's such a big, big competition now.
Mark Leach won't get onto it, but he won't be too disappointed. All eats up those extra seconds. Gavin towering once more. Horgan to the right-hand side to O'Donovan, who's been one of the shining lights for Cork City. Going on the outside, gets his cross in, deflected. McCarthy's making a nuisance of himself in there. Cork get the throw in. Fenn. Horgan. Back to Danny Murphy. Final seconds, it's now or never for Cork City. And that's going to run all the way out for a goal kick. And has Cork's last chance gone with that?
I just think it's been a terrific final. It's went the extra time. Maybe we expected that. Maybe we expected more goals. But overall, two very competitive sides. Cork, they've really played well tonight, and they'll be disappointed. But you've got to admire Paul Doolan's side. They've stayed with it under a little bit of pressure. And George O'Callaghan, he'll be sadly disappointed. And yes, I think he was a loss when he came off.
Still a couple of seconds to go. That's going to be a free kick to Drogheda. Foul by Joe Gamble. Another look at the watch from referee Dave McKeown. Knocked into the corner. There's the final whistle. Drogheda United are the 2006 Setanta Sports Cup winners. And how they will celebrate this one. Paul Doolan has worked it again. There's the winner, Mark Leach. Well, the goal came in extra time. Paul Doolan won't mind how it came. They got the better of Cork City in the FAI Cup final last December, and they've done it again here after a titanic struggle. Well, some of the Cork City players are remonstrating with the referee still, but the game is over, it's done now, and it's about Drogheda United. Well, are they the emerging force in Irish soccer? As we see the final score, Cork City 0, Drogheda United 1 after extra time. Let's hear from the victorious manager, Paul Doolan.
Paul, All-Ireland champions.
Well, to be honest, Will, you know, I've always been gracious in victory and magnanimous in defeat. I don't think we can call ourselves real All-Ireland champions, because I think you have to say that when you win your own league. We're delighted to win the tournament. It's absolutely brilliant for the club. I thought tonight, probably in the second half of the first half, Cork did very well, and we had a little bit of luck with a few chances. But I thought in the second half we were magnificent. I think, you know, to be fair, I hope somebody gives the players a bit of respect and a bit of credit, because we've had to listen. It's absolutely obnoxious what we had to listen to all week about. They never turned up in the cup final, and the pitch was bad and the weather was poor. You know, I think their players deserved what they got December, deserved what they got. They beat us twice in the Setanta Cup, but it didn't matter. Tonight was the night. The league match when we had 9 men or 10 men, the FAI Cup final, so we're delighted to win. We're just a little bit disappointed, as I said, that people were saying we were lucky on the day. I hope that's buried now. But I'm delighted to the club, the supporters. You know, it's absolutely brilliant to say we're the first Aircom League side to win the Setanta Cup. We're absolutely delighted, Will.
Dramatic way to decide it.
Yes, as I said, we were probably a bit forced in the first half, but good teams have character. We hung in there, and we always felt if we got that chance that we finish it.
Congratulations, well
Cheers,
done.
Will. No problem.
Well, the man of the match presentation, a bittersweet moment for Joe Gamble. Top performer for Brian Hamilton tonight, but on the losing side. And now Cork City, led by captain Dan Murray, make their way forward. They certainly more than contributed to a fantastic occasion. And they'll be back again. They will go on and hope to defend their league crown. Drogheda, of course, will have their eyes on that as well as they continue to progress. Roy O'Donovan, a little touch for the trophy. He'll be hoping he'll meet that further down the line in his career. Neil Fenn going through, Colin O'Brien, Alan Bennett, Brian McCarthy, the young substitute who came on, one who could certainly have a bright future, Danny Murphy, Joe Gamble, Admir Softic. Certainly looks to have a big career ahead, but these are moments they'll remember, and these are moments that will spur them on, I'm sure. Well, we have another interview on hand. It's the Drogheda United captain, the man soon to lift the trophy, Declan O'Brien.
You're looking forward to getting your hands on that silverware, aren't you?
Yeah, can't wait, you know. It's a very tough game, in fairness. I think Cork in the first half, you know, we're on top. You know, they had some great chances. They could have been 1 or 2 up, to be fair. But we came out in the second half, good attitude, very good work. We showed real character, I thought. And I think that's why we won, the character we showed and the work we put in. And it was a real workmanlike performance. And fair play to Mark Leach, great finish there. You know, he's a quality finisher like himself, so I think it's great. It's great players. That's the kind of players we have on the bench, and it just shows the quality we have, you know.
Well done. You've got a cup to collect.
Yeah, so sorry I have to go. Yeah.
Well done.
For Declan O'Brien. Niall Cogley, the chief executive of Setanta Sports Ireland, presenting the winning medals. Keith Fahey coming through. Shane Robinson, Paul Keegan, another who's only now, after a signing that was disrupted by injury, establishing his place in the team. Brian Shelley, another of the new men. Simon Webb, Stephen Bradley, all going through and waiting for the moment now when their captain will get his hands on the trophy. Linfield were the inaugural winners, and Drogheda United will follow them onto the roll of honour. Well, we're almost ready. Declan O'Brien had the honour of lifting Drogheda's first ever piece of major silverware on December 4th of last year when they beat Cork City 2-0 in the FAI Cup final. 1-0 was enough tonight. And he's soon to get his hands on the trophy they've been chasing for the last 2 months. Here we go. 2006 Setanta Sports Cup champions, Drogheda United.